video. Man landed on moon. America has made it.
Sure.
Wow. Amazing. I just can't believe it. Actually, I was supporting Russia in this. Bad luck for Russia. Man, look at this. Man never landed on the moon. Here. Whoa, it's incredible. It's all against you. It's Russia again. Russia won. This cannot be. Listen, this is not a game actually. No, man landed. To me, they landed. He's right. You know, well, I knew it even long before just when my man actually. They never landed. It was all a hoax. Yes, you have to accept the truth. I know it's hard. Wow! You see, I'm proof to you that this thing, conspiracy theory is wrong. Man did land on the moon. I'm going to get even illusions. I will. If you would ask me, man indeed landed on the moon. I accept him. His queries. Well, I'll support you in proving them wrong. Okay?
The following program deals with a controversial subject. The theories expressed are not the only possible interpretation. Viewers are invited to make a judgment based on all available information.
On July 16, 1969, America held its breath.
10, 9, ignition sequence start. 6, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Apollo 11 blasted into space, beginning its 250,000-mile journey to the moon. During their 8-day voyage, the Apollo 11 astronauts saw spectacular views of the Earth, floated in a weightless environment, and supposedly went where no man had gone before.
Start looking good, down a half. Lights on, picking up some dust. 4 forward, drift into the right a little. Contact light. Okay, engine stop. We copy you down, Eagle. Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
But did it? Spoken.
It's one small step for man. One giant leap for mankind.
Tonight,
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
we investigate the most extraordinary event of the 20th century.
It's one small step for man.
Man landing on the moon.
One giant leap for mankind.
But believe it or not, some people say it never happened.
This whole thing was a fake.
Decide for yourself as we explore the evidence,
The Eagle has landed.
analyze official government photos,
What a ride, what a ride.
examine the films.
The flag flaps on the...
Could the government have orchestrated the deception of the century?
NASA could have pulled off the greatest hoax of all time.
You be the judge.
The answers to the conspiracy theory. You be the judge.
to find out the truth. Welcome. Pondering over my notebooks and the internet, trying to gather some information on my project, an idea struck me how to put it forth to you. Here I bring it forth in the form of a documentary, the answers to the conspiracy theory. Let's take a ride.
This is Nitharsha Prakash doing his physics project. Well, to help me in the videotaping this, I must acknowledge my brother. Well, but who will they acknowledge for being the camera person in the footage of Neil Armstrong on Moon? Well, this is one thing that conspiracy claimed for this moon landing to be a hoax. But actually, what many people believed was that Neil Armstrong had descended from the craft even before the live was taken. He had set up a camera, then replayed the scene. Well, actually what happened was NASA had a linked arm attached to the craft, and thus the world watched Neil Armstrong stepping onto the moon. So the conspiracy theorists claim that dust falls down at the same rate just as it happens on Earth. Well, actually they didn't get one point clearly. Let's analyze it now. Well, so here I have a tiny plastic ball and a basketball. So, when you drop these two, according to the laws of gravity, it's supposed to fall at the same time because the Earth's acceleration due to gravity on both the objects is same irrespective of their mass. Now, if I drop it, it must touch the ground at the same time. Well, there might be a slight variation due to the difference in the circumference, the size. Okay, so let's just check it out. Okay, I suppose you got that. It was almost same, right? So now we are going to replace this tiny plastic ball with a piece of cardboard. Okay, so I'll show you. Okay, so here is the cardboard and the tiny ball. So when I drop, you can see this is almost of the same size. Okay, so I'm going to drop these two, and you can see how they touch the ground. See, it touches at different times. Why it is? Because of air resistance. Well, so let me start this. So now, what are we actually talking about was this wind, air resistance. So now, when the piece of cardboard that we saw falling down, like air pushes it above, from down, in all directions it pushes. So it falls down at a slower rate. Now here, what happens? It's a bit breezy here, right? Yeah, that's what we are talking about. The wind resistance. So now, what is this wind resistance? It's actually this, when cardboard paper falls, wind pushes it on all directions, and thus it falls at a slow rate. This we can see everywhere. Even in launching of the missiles, air resistance is calculated. So this is an important thing actually. So now, what happens is this air resistance decreases the acceleration due to gravity on Earth acting upon this cardboard paper. Same thing happens for minute dust particles because these have very less weight, and in the case of cardboard paper, they have a great surface area. Now, if you go to the moon, what happens is that the dust particles over there, they too fall down at the normal acceleration due to gravity force in moon. But there is no air resistance. Therefore, if you see, the acceleration due to gravity acting on moon is almost equal to the acceleration due to gravity acting on Earth in spite of the air resistance. Okay, is somewhat linked to our topic now. Well, actually, the conspiracy theorists claim that there are no stars in the background, just like this guy actually. Well, the sun is so bright, it just dims out all the stars. You cannot see the stars due to the brightness of the sun. The same thing happens. Already we know how these astronauts have more than one light source. That's why you get those multiple shadows. Even that, the conspiracy theorists claim that use it as a reason why the moon landing is a hoax. Actually, they have used more than one lighting source. And since they have so much lighting source, what is visible is only the astronauts. And the stars are only a far away, a twinkling dot. And you cannot expect that to be something showing in spite of so much lighting. Even if I would have bright lights around me just over here now, you may not be able to see the background, all because
I'm fully lit. Because of these lightings, you won't be able to see this. And this is what happens, and this is what happened too. Well, let me take a picture of this scenery even before it goes off.
Hello. So that's evening picture of the sky that we took. Here it is. You can take a look. Cool, na? Okay, so this picture gives me an idea for the next thing that we are going to talk about. So what are we going to talk about here is the crosses. So you must have seen those crosses or those plus signs that are hidden, behind the lunar rover, the module, all those places. Actually, they were not exactly hidden. Conspiracy theorists say that this proof is more than enough to prove that Apollo 11 mission is a hoax. But actually, NASA says that this is more than enough to prove that it is real. Okay, now let me explain you exactly how this is. These astronauts don't just send images. So, they happen to send files, documents, some information and all that. So, they are conveyed through the satellite. So, when they get conveyed through the satellite, they are broken into bits. So, sometimes these bits are not properly aligned. Like, for a picture takes different amount of bits and the images take different amount of bits. So because those images and all come together, like those crosses have reached them, like they come to different places. Actually, if you take a picture, the crosses, they're supposed to be in the corner. Actually, it's supposed to be this corner, then here, here and here. But because of those images, they reach somewhere little bit closer and all that. So now this proof is more than enough to show that these images have passed through satellite, and that can happen only if they did land on the moon. Hi everyone. So standing on top of the building, don't think this is a suicide attempt. We are going to the next point. So the next point is something very common. It's the flag waving. So these conspiracy theorists, they claim that it is impossible for the flag to wave because there is no atmosphere. They just forgot one point, the gravity. There is no gravity in moon too, and how would they expect it to fall down? Just imagine, over here, right over here, there is no gravity. If you walk out of the building, what would happen? Well, I'll show you. Well, these stunts are by experts, so please do not imitate them. Okay, so I'm just standing in the mid-air. This is what will happen if there is no gravity. Okay, standing in on nothing just gives me creeps. I'll get back into the building. Okay, so now I'll continue. These NASA people, they have said that they had attached a wire perpendicular to the flag post on top of it, so that the flag, the maximum portion of the flag is visible. So that's how we are able to see almost the full flag every time. And if you observe closely, the flag is found to be waving only when the astronauts are trying to fix it on the sand. So all the waving motion is only because of the astronauts' movement and not because it was shot in a studio. Now we are going to go for the next thing. So now the next point is